Hopefully it's all happening. Let's have a look, see. Okay, seems to be live. Hopefully it is. Right. Oh. Okay. Righty ho. Somebody's there, hopefully. Somebody. Right. That's me. Okay, so it seems to be all working, and I carved the nose recently. Just gonna play around with this a little bit, see if I can get the comments up. All right. Chat on. G'day, Woodworker's Dilemma. Now, is your name Joe? I think it is, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so everything seems to be working pretty well. Can't get this sorted out. That's the only problem is sorting these things out. Right. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, you're doing quite a few videos now, Joe. It's pretty cool. You do a little bit of variation on different things, eh? I think, if I remember rightly. Right, okay. So I carved this nose recently, and I thought I'd carve another nose, and I thought I'd try and carve like a really kind of exaggerated nose, just for the fun of it. Maybe sort of something sort of like you got your face kind of here, and that would be like a normal nose like that. But maybe we will carve one that sort of goes like this. And kind of sunken eyes and all of that kind of thing. So almost like a witch, maybe, or a crazy wood spirit. Yeah, just sort of something a little bit different. Yeah, woodworking and DIY. I was watching one of those ambulance programs the other day, and they were talking about how a lot of their call-outs are to DIY accidents. So yeah, which is probably quite understandable. I've had a few DIY accidents in my time. I broke my foot once. I broke my toe. I was carrying something, and I forgot I put a big weight in this cupboard, and it slipped out and just landed on my toe. And man, it was sore. I had to drive to the hospital by myself, and was on my accelerator foot. So yeah, it was really sore. Fun times. Right, we're trying to. Once you get a bit older, though, you kind of think a little bit more on what you're going to do before you do it, I guess. Okay, so this is macrocarpa, this wood, and Moskva. Andre, g'day, how you going? I'm not sure where that is in the world. Yeah, ladders are pretty dangerous things. So shall we start carving? So I've got this noise cancelling mic on, so we'll see how that goes. Russia, cool. That's the thing, eh? Like with YouTube, people watching from all around the world. It's winter here in New Zealand. Real horrible at the moment. Not as cold as probably Russia in winter, but you know, it's just raining and cold. Okay, so I might take these back a little bit just because they're hard to hold. Just tell me if you can hear me with this noise cancelling on. G'day Adam, how you going? So my voice is going to probably sound a little bit weird because for noise cancelling, it sort of like makes it sound a little bit robotic, I guess. Ooh, g'day Pokemon and Adam. Right, okay, so whenever I carve a nose, the first thing I do is I just go straight back and into the bridge. And if you saw my latest video, I sort of like do the same kind of nose all the time. So I'm going to try and mix it up today. So we'll try and do just a real crazy nose. I'm not going to worry about the rest of the face, but I just want to see if I can get this really nose sort of happening where that sort of part really extends down here and the nasal parts sort of come way up here. Those kind of like nasal nears. Sort of like, does any of you guys have a look at Nancy Tuttle's work? She does a lot of really kind of like creatures, I guess, in wood, and they look really cool. And a lot of her noses are pretty wild. So if you want some real inspiration, have a look at her carvings. She doesn't have a YouTube channel. She has a Facebook page, and also if you just sort of like type in Nancy Tuttle, I'll spell it for you. Nancy, and then it's Tuttle. I hope I'm spelling it right. Yeah, so it's like that. So she's got a Facebook page, and if you just put in, Nancy Tuttle carvings into Google search and then press images, it'll come up with heaps of her ones. So let's start this nose, and we're just going to go really a long way back. Oh, don't think I tightened that. Felt it going a bit loose. Okay, so essentially once I've put that in, I will sort of like look at how long the nose is going to be. Like I'm not going to worry about anything else in this carving, I'm just going to worry about the nose. So I'm going to make it quite long, probably down to about here. And when that bit will go up there and with the nasal bits there, hopefully, we'll see how it turns out. So next thing is just to put that kind of plane in what the angle of the nose is. Sorry you're late. Ah, no, you're not late, mate. All good. I just started, so we're carving a nose today. G'day, Amy Joe. No problem. All good. It's sort of like non-scheduled, this one. I just do it. I haven't done one a live for a while. I'll do one of those. Yeah, she does have a Pinterest page. It's really cool, that page. I think I follow her. She's actually a really nice lady. She does actually answer if you ask her something on Facebook. She'll reply and all that kind of stuff. I'm interested in adding ears. Wow, yeah, ears are a whole new ball game. Yeah, Josh, those ears, when you carve on ears, I've never done it, but I'm just presuming they're going to be really hard because you've sort of got to, you probably have to leave the wood and still try and figure out how you're going to carve the head, if you get what I mean, which is quite difficult. And also, I think you tend to never see wood spirits with them, but just because they are really hard to carve and they're really hard to place on a head. I'll show you something like just hang on a sec, bear with me. So I did this clay work of this lady here. So this is just made out of clay, and she's got ears on, but the thing was ears on clay works is you just got to add them on afterwards. So, but they are very complex kind of things. I tried to get it quite realistic on this, but still maintain sort of like a bit of simplicity to it as well. And you got to get the ears right when you're doing it. I think, if I can remember rightly, the bottom of the ear sort of corresponds with the bottom of the nose, and sort of like the top of the ear is almost coming in the eye kind of region. Yeah. So just put her over here. We'll carry on with this carving. All right. Oh, geez, Aiden. Yeah, it took me like the whole weekend to do that thing. I went to a class to do it a while ago, a couple of years ago. I've done a few more and those kind of ones. Right. So we have got quite a bend in the nose there, which might work out. We'll just keep that bend at the moment, and I'll go down a little bit here, and then I might keep it quite wide. We're trying to almost I'm trying to figure out this for myself as well. So when I would like to do kind of a witch kind of creature kind of thing. Yeah. You get faster at things though, eh? Aiden, it's all practice, you know. Let's put in a center line here. So that would be the eyes coming out like this. Glue them on, yeah, that could work. Yeah, it's a challenge though. I reckon you should give it a go. I reckon sometimes even if you fail and you sort of then start to appreciate how hard something is to do, which is nice. Right. Okay. Okay, just catch up on these Oscar Wilde. Yeah. Yep. Experience. Got to make mistakes to be doing anything, really. If you're not making mistakes, you're probably just sitting on the couch doing nothing. Yeah. It's like Groundhog Day, carving wood spirits. You just keep on repeating it. Practice makes perfect. Well, maybe not perfect. Yeah, I think if you ever perfected what you do, you'd probably give up because there's no point in carrying on. It would become boring, I think, wouldn't it? Okay, so what am I going to do next? I might, because I'm trying to work this out myself. I think I might just pencil in these nostrils and then try and work out how that's going to work. Okay, I think I'm going to change burrs. One of the reasons why sometimes I really don't well, I love the flame burr, but the problem when it comes to carving wood spirits is when you're going from one side, it's really easy to carve the right hand side, I find, but when you come over to this side, then this point's going in a different place, whereas on this point you can get into like the nose and all of that. You can flip it upside down and all of that, but what I like to do is I like to put on a just a sphere burr, because like essentially if you hit it at that angle there and then you hit it at that angle there, the shape of the burr is not going to be really that different. Okay, might just whack this in here. Okay, so I just saw quite a few interesting questions that just went through there, so I'm just going to quickly go through those. What burr do you use for small details? Well, the first burr that I'll use for small details is the Kutzall fine taper burr, and that's got a nice point on it. But I also use sort of like, once I'm getting really into real kind of fine details, like in this eye, then I'll go to some diamond burrs, like the Dremel wheel point burr, and also like these kind of burrs here, and the diamond burrs, you get these sort of like cone shaped burrs. Somebody asked about, does Dremel make burrs for eyeballs? Not really. I'm thinking you're thinking of something like this, where it has like a hollow in it, and then you sort of press it in and it makes a sort of circle. So Dremel doesn't make anything like that. All of these burrs are actually in my description, and they are affiliate links. Yeah. I'll just check back on other comments. Do you use a wrench instead of the drill? The only reason why I use that wrench there is just because it's less it's less hard to lose. I think I've lost the Dremel wrench. I'm not sure where it is, but yeah, just use what fits. You know, it doesn't really matter. Right. I see now. Oh, yeah, just some technical problems there. All good. So we'll carry on with this nose. So for those that are joining, this nose is going to be like a real wild kind of nose that you'd find on some kind of crazy creature. So I've just started off going in with the sphere burr and just doing some general shaping. Okay, so can you hear me while the Dremel's going? Can somebody answer me that? Yeah, it is a maze of a baboon. Maybe. Right. Okay. So, I think one of the best kind of like moves you can do from here to make eyes is this sort of like movement here, and you're sort of going around like this. So that almost forms the eye. Cool. That's awesome. Thank you for that. It's always hard to know what you guys can hear. I'm just doing general kind of shaping, just trying to get a kind of an understanding. Okay, so what I might do now is, because I've got that kind of general shape there, now I want to see if I can sort of just like fine it up a little bit. And I will go in with this one that I said before was for details, but it's also good for just sort of like generally doing kind of outlines around things like the nostrils and all of that. So it's nice to go deep in there. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to put a cheek line in just to sort of like accentuate things. You know, that kind of real defined crease. I'm just going to go real hard in and do it. Did you hear the noise? The noise change on that because that came loose. You see, with these Dremel chucks, you just got to be aware that sometimes they come loose, especially if you're putting a massive amount of pressure on them. I sometimes just keep this one. These ones don't tend to come loose, the normal kind of chuck ones, but when you're kind of like changing over heaps of different burrs, like I've got all of these different size burrs here, especially when you're getting into details, I really find the multi-chuck really handy with that. But you just got to be aware. I have a Shark week on television, and they are in New Zealand studying the largest great white sharks. Oh, cool. Are they down in Stewart Island, which is at the bottom of New Zealand? There's a lot of sharks down there. I don't have any shark stories. I've never seen a shark out. I only see baby sharks that have been washed up on the beach. They, like, you know, those down at the beach where I live, they put those sort of like torpedoes out with a fishing line on them, and they pull up mainly just baby sharks in them. So I don't think they're baby great whites. They're just, I don't know, some kind of shark. Hello from Poland. G'day, mate. How you going? Right, okay. What have we got now? Yeah, so we're just carving a extremely crazy nose today. Right. Okay, so I'm just going over the eyeballs. I want to take them back a little bit further. I'm not going to do the whole wood spirit, but we'll put some semi eyeballs in there. Not quite sure where this is going to lead to. It's just kind of fun doing like wood spirits that you don't really have a definite idea on how it's going to turn out. Looks like a heart outline. I think I can see what you mean. Yeah. Right. Okay. So, I really like, I don't know, it's kind of nice having really deep inset eyes. Do those. Oh, yeah. I think I see what you mean, like there. Yeah. No, I need to go back to the Kutzall Extreme. Just get some wood out there. And that kind of thing. Oh, thank you very much. All right. You can't beat the flame burr for taking wood off. All right. So this wood is called macrocarpa. It's actually originally it's from California. Like, they brought it over to New Zealand to make hedges, and they used it for sort of like garden landscaping kind of stuff. Yeah, so that's a side profile. That is one decent kind of slope. Whew. Oh, g'day, Matt. Oh, Mark. Sorry, calling you my own name. How you going? What's the weather doing up in Wellington Way, Mark? Well, Mark lives in New Zealand as well. Right, okay. Ooh, look at that. That is awesome. I reckon that would look cool on a bigger wood spirit that I've done in like a tree or something. It's always good to sort of like do these kind of noses. Noses. I think you can get it. You probably could, just as sort of like a fraction of an ear on there. So like a lot of people have problems with sort of like carving. I do as well. Carving the cheeks. I always find like that line there. It's kind of got to be quite close to the eye, and then you kind of come around, sort of intersect the mustache there. I think I've actually got. I'll try and find it. Yeah, so I was carving this with a knife, and I was following. I can't remember who. I think it was Alec Lacasse, and he does a really nice kind of like job of teaching real simple kind of wood spirits and all that. And even if you're not going to use knives, it's quite nice to watch these guys because they do like a cut in here and a cut there, and that kind of forms the beard. Especially if you've got a hat, you can just sort of like make that disappear. But so that's quite cool. That's out of basswood. So right, okay. So what I would do is like with this one, I might sort of do the mustache out of here. It's not going to fit on this piece of wood, but you know, who cares? It's sort of like mustache would go like that, kind of thing, down like there. Oh, you're not able to carve. I thought you hurt your foot, Mark. Right. So the way I do sort of like cheeks is I'll go in quite close to the eye. I sort of like go down like that, and then sort of like cross like that. So that kind of like forms that there. Then you want to sort of like take that back. Like that. So it sort of really defines it, you know. Yeah. So that's that done. Do, do, do. Okay. Okay. Getting there. Right. Comments. What are you making? I'm making a crazy nose. Usually I make noses kind of like that, which is pretty normal. But I thought I'd do something a little bit different today. Just sort of make it longer and fatter. And it would probably go on a creature as opposed to other kind of things. Touchdown and buckets. Thank you very much. Josh asks, what happened to you, Mark? I think Mark hurt his foot or something. G'day, gloomy nuggets. Okay. So it's hard to know what to do next. I quite like when you do this nasal part is to go in quite deep here and sort of like try and fold that nasal part in like that. Okay, next we'll try and get under that nose. Right, we've got going on here. Just having a look back at the comments. Oh, comments have all gone a bit crazy. Yeah, might suck the Dremel up his nostrils. That looks good, thank you. I'm using a Dremel 4000 with a flex shaft, which is that thing there. So it's quite nice. You can sort of like wave it around as opposed to using the Dremel sort of big body itself. You connect a flex shaft onto it, so it becomes much more maneuverable. Okay, It's one of my favourite kind of cutting burrs is this burr here. It's a Dremel long life burr. I've had it for about a year. It's still cutting pretty well. I'm going to put the mustache in with this. I'm going to try to. Might actually put it on this one. Thank you for all the good comments you're sending. It's very nice of you. We're just having a bit of fun today, carving a crazy nose. All right. Okay. Okay, so this cuts really fast and deep. There's a nice line. You can take off quite a bit of wood with this as well. Probably go that with the mustache. These got a nice finish sometimes, these cutter burrs. Like you can make things quite smooth. Okay, so if I just wanted to put in like a general kind of shaping of hairs, I would just go right. Okay, so that's kind of, I'm not going to finish this today. We'll just sort of like carry on with it until I get kind of bored. I tend to sort of like half do carvings, and I'm sort of like, what I'm doing is I'm just concentrating on doing this nose because I just really want to try and figure out how to do these really big kind of noses with crazy kind of nostrils. So let's do that. A lot of making the nose kind of look like a nose or a crazy nose is how it interacts with the eye as well. So we'll make the eye really deep, I think. So let's concentrate on that for a little while. Okay, I'll just have a quick look back at the why are you not, what's your name? Oh, sorry for not answering your question. What happens is I sort of tend to carve and then you don't look at the questions. So if I miss your question, I very apologise for that. But yeah, just ask it again and I'll probably see it sometime. Yeah, so my name's Matt Carves. I carve on YouTube with Dremel and all of that. And so, yeah. My real name isn't Metcalf's. Okay. Okay, woodworkers, how much shorter is a bit life if you carve harder wood for oak, for example? Well, it's going to be shorter, but I've been carving for this one for quite a while. So see, it's quite nice. There's some real defined kind of edges to it. Like they are expensive. What I tend to do is I don't tend to do big blockouts with them. If you've got a bandsaw and you can take most of the wood off with a bandsaw and then sort of start carving on the details, then you're going to sort of like make your burrs last longer. Because these sort of like bits like this, they're really nice for sort of like putting in fine lines like in the beards and all of that, but you wouldn't probably want to like hollow out the eyes and all do this kind of stuff. Save them for sort of like sharp lines and finishing off. Okay, I think I got all the guys there. It's probably referring to me saying guys all the time. When I say guys, I mean everybody. Thank you. I like your name. All right. Okay, so we'll concentrate on this eye for a little bit. So when you're first putting in an eye, you want to try and get that eye mound kind of sorted out. So the eye mound is this kind of area here, but I'll go deeper into here. And when you're sorting out that eye mound, you're doing this sort of motion here. It's digging into the cheek as well, so it's leaving that kind of like eye sockety kind of thing. So I try and get the shape kind of first. Try and figure out how what kind of eyelids, eyebrows do I want. Maybe I have them going up a little bit. Going down like that. Then I'll concentrate on sort of like the surface of the eye. Just try and round it off a little bit. All right. Okay. So what have we got going on here? Okay. Oh, I've been going for an hour. Okay, what have we got? Just have a look at all these comments. Okay. Which Dremel have you got? I've got a Dremel 4000. And can I hear a noise so I can go? You can go at any time. Right, okay, so oh yep, I saw that mark. All good. Hi Melissa. Right, okay. Okay, so my comments feed seems to be playing up a little bit. Not quite sure what's happening there. It seems to be loading up enough comments. Just kind of frozen. All right. Sorry about this. Just trying to work it out. Okay. Okay. Right. Just trying to, it's always hard when you're trying to work out like technical stuff when you're sort of like carving as well. Okay. Right. Okay, so I think I've sorted out a few issues there, and we're going to carry on carving. Right, so what was I doing? I was doing the eye, wasn't I? Right, that eye, sort of what, I'm not going to bother with that eye as this video is going to be really long, so we'll just concentrate on this eye. So I tend to go sort of like quite far back with it, and then I'll try and round it off a little bit, and I might just do a real simple eye. We'll put some wrinkles in it, and then we'll probably call it a day. More famous last words. I'm just going to carry on carving. Right. Let's check the. Yep. Looks all good. It's a party. Yeah. Not much music though. Right. So this is what happens. I said I was going to carve the eye, and then I move on to the nostril. Typical. So what I kind of like is those real deep kind of brown lines. Put some of those in. Right. Nice little sphere burr. Yep. Definitely I jump a lot around using different burrs. Especially when it comes to sort of like the details, you know. All right. Okay, Josh, can you do a carving with only one bit? Yeah, I've done that. And the bit that I used was, well, I used different bits, but they're the same bit. I used drill bits. So that's on a video a long time ago, actually. Just carved a little simple wood spirit, a small one, because you don't really want to carve a big one. You'd be here for weeks. All right. Okay, so with this eye, I've kind of gone quite deep up in this part here, and the eye is a little bit low. So what I would probably do is I'd put the top eyelid in there, and the bottom eyelid kind of there, and make this kind of stuff down below it like bags. You get what I mean? So I'm going to quickly do that. Can I use... Just trying to figure out what I'm going to use for this. Thank you very much. Looks great. Awesome. Now all the bears are coming out. All right. Okay, so I've been practicing those little squinty eyes, like Clint Eastwood kind of eyes, just for something different to do. So it won't go bigger than that. It's going to be pretty simple, this eye. Eyes take a long time to do. Oh, thank you very much, 68 Abel. Yeah, I haven't actually tried that for 4,300, but it's supposed to be really good. Yeah. That's not really working out. All right. Go for this Dremel. Really is eye-opening. I see what you did there. Right. Okay, so we're just trying to get those bags underneath. Quite hard to do sometimes. I'm going to put them in kind of lightly at the start. G'day. What was I going to say there? Oh, Josh, you're heading off. Yeah, cheers, man, for showing up. Yeah, we don't know what time it is over there, wherever you are, Josh. But yeah, have a good day, night. What time is it here, Mark? It must be about 11 o'clock, is it? Da, da, da. Oh, it's 10 o'clock. Oh, that's right. I got up pretty early this morning. So it's looking pretty good. Like, I'm quite happy with that nose. I reckon I could have even made it bigger. I'm going to sort of probably head off anyway, Josh, very shortly. So that was the eye that I did. Very sort of like easy eye to do. Yeah, I wasn't really thinking too much when I was doing this wood spirit. What I probably would do is, let's do it now, is I'll try and sort of like make this kind of groove a little bit deeper. 10 past 10 in the morning. Well, that was a bit deep. Just remember you can sort of like pull your burrs that way as well. Some eyes around the lines around the eyes. If I think the line is a little bit too deep, I might take it out again. Yeah, there is less bits to change. Yeah, good old Clint Eastwood eyes. And what I quite like to do is do my eyebrows sort of following the eyebrow, not like this, but sort of like following the eyebrow. You could almost have another line going down here. What do you reckon? Whenever you put a line in and you're not completely happy with it, it needs a little bit of smoothing out. You can do that as well. Give it some face tattoos. Okay, one thing that's bugging me here is that sort of like connected there. So I will sort of take that back a little bit. Use a different burr. Look at all these Kutzall burrs I've got. These are all Kutzalls. And when people ask me what burrs they really need from Kutzall, I'd probably suggest like your general burrs would be this fine taper burr. I really like the sphere burrs. I really like the small fine sphere burr, and of course everybody's favourite is the Kutzall Flame, the extreme one. So you'd use that for blocking out. This for sort of like around the eyes, those kind of things, really nice smooth kind of action to it. And this is really good for sort of starting your details with, and also like getting in there and all of that. So it's been quite fun, this carving. So I'm just going to take that back. Look at this one. I did actually buy, let's just tip them all out here. Taper burr, that's the extreme one. Sometimes I always find this one a little bit hard to handle because it sort of like catches and will go. But we'll see how it goes. Like I probably use all of those Kutzall burrs, but I don't know. You use some more than others, obviously. Right. Got to be careful with these ones. Ooh, takes up a bit of wood, does. Take up a bit of skin too, probably. Thank you, Dubu. Thank you very much. Done one or two of these before, have you? I've actually done probably only about 10 wood spirits. Well, maybe more actually, but not too many. Nancy, right. Okay, I'm just looking back at the comments to see if I've missed any. It seemed to be, Aidan says it's 11 p.m. there, so I think, yeah, Aidan's in England, I believe. So he's kind of like the opposite time to us, plus daylight savings and whatever that is. Right, okay, so if anyone's got any questions, they can ask me. Yep. So always be careful when you're carving. I'll just say that. Mark's got, he's collected a little bit of, Ireland. Oh, cool, man. A little bit of skin. Yeah, you can hit these on your skin and you're going to be doing some damage. So just be careful when you're carving. And I'm carving without a glove, but if I was to wear a glove, it would be a leather glove. And always be aware, you can very rarely going to cut this hand, but unless you put your I've done this before, unless you put your Dremel bit down, and then it sort of like catches on something and then will fly off and then maybe get you. So just be aware of where your burrs are. Dangerous parts are sort of like if you put your finger here and you're carving up here and then you go over the edge, this will got pressure on it, so it's going to head towards your finger as well, but it's also rotating that way, so it's going to catch on that edge and go over. I'll just show you without getting my finger. So you're going over the edge and sort of go like that. So just be aware of that. And it sort of like wants to track around the wood sometimes, like that. So that would be your finger there. Yeah. Yep. Stay away from loose clothes, long hair. I've never had a really bad injury from Dremel carving. Just little nicks. You tend to sort of like, when you hit yourself, you do tend to pull away pretty quickly. But you do have to be careful because sometimes it depends where you hit yourself. And the fleshy parts is too bad, but you don't want to hit yourself on one of these bones. That would be bad. So, and also like, if you're just starting out and you're really afraid of these kind of burrs, what could be best to do is use more of a fine burr, because these do a lot of damage, whereas these, I'd never touch myself with one of those burrs, but one of these burrs, if it's going, don't try this at home. You're gonna, so I'm touching my skin there, so it's not such a big deal. But if you like really hit it hard, it would sort of like definitely leave a mark on you. So I've hit this foam quite a bit like that. That's always fun. Thank you very much. So beautiful. I wouldn't say it's, well, yeah, it's beautiful in its own way. So I carved this one a while ago. So we're just concentrating on the nose, played around with a little bit of the eye. Yeah, so when you're carving noses, just get that. I try and figure out kind of like that angle first when I'm carving a nose. Also, like, this is really exaggerated. Everything's exaggerated on here. But the great thing about wood spirits and just carving, you can just exaggerate things. It doesn't really matter. But as long as you start getting in, I always find like if you have some proportions right, like the eyes and the nose, well, not the nose, but the eyes need to be sort of like not really, really big. But then again, they can be. It depends what you're trying to achieve. Like, they're not realistic, but if you have them sort of maybe in the correct kind of area, you don't want your eyeball up there, unless it's a Martian. So you can get away with quite a lot with wood spirits. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to cruise off now, and hey, thank you all for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Okay, bye everybody.